Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates, and we are starting, as you can see, with a physique update of Nick Walker at 13 weeks and 4 days out of Mr. Olympia. So at this point, Nick's body is definitely starting to get a little bit harder each week. A couple of weeks ago, he didn't look, that hard. Not like this. No, he was a little bit softer. I guess he relaxed a little after the show. Some would even say that he went off, but right now he's definitely starting to get a little bit harder, more conditioned, and with his size and roundness and bubbliness, everything is popping out. It's already starting to look very, very crazy. I mean, he's always looking crazy and freaky, but with conditioning, when he gets super shredded, then that gets really insane. Now, Nick Walker is definitely one of the top guys in bodybuilding in the world. He's top 3, top 4 at a Mr. Olympia. So if we talk about him, we gotta talk about his potential of winning the damn thing and becoming the Mr. Olympia. Is that possible? Well, in that discussion, the size, the roundness, the conditioning, that kind of stuff is not really of big relevance when we talk about Nick Walker. He's arguably the biggest guy in bodybuilding today, the freakiest guy. I mean, it's him and Exila, I guess, but, as for right now, Nick Walker has proven himself better. Maybe that's gonna change this year. As of right now, it still hasn't. And again, if we're talking about his potential of winning and becoming the Mr. Olympia, we gotta talk about his midsection. That's the only thing, I mean, not the only thing, but one of the things that can prevent him from achieving that. I know, there are other things as well, like his structure, his waist is a little bit wider, it's not a stomach issue, and also his legs are a little bit shorter and not the biggest, especially the quads, but that's not something he can change, not that much. I mean, he can change his structure, but he can grow his legs a little, but like how much? With his insertions, with his shape, he will never have big Ramy legs, or Exila legs, or like Samson Dauda even, or Hadi Chopin, no. But if he is super conditioned and has a lot of dense muscle as he does, and if his midsection control is perfect, which is definitely something he can absolutely control, and in most of his recent updates, it's actually starting to get tighter and tighter, especially after the New York Pro. And I know people are saying that it's always better in the photos, but then on the stage it's always the same story. I don't think that's the case. I think it was really bad this year at Pittsburgh Pro and New York Pro. It wasn't that bad before. It really got much worse this year. But I don't think that gut is there to stay. I think he's gonna fix it before the Mr. Olympia. Because as I said, in his physique updates, it's starting to get tighter and tighter, and I'm kinda waiting for the moment when it's gonna start getting worse again, but it's not happening, not yet. There are 13 and a half more weeks for it to develop again, to grow bigger, but is that gonna happen if it's looking this good at 13 weeks out? I don't think so. I mean, it's not phenomenal, his waist is wider, structure-wise, but I think he's definitely keeping it much, much tighter, which is really making his entire physique look better. It's making his chest look bigger in the side poses, it makes him look wider in the shoulders, and it's definitely making his legs look bigger, which is the most important thing. And it was a problem at the New York Pro, even in the side poses. But now it's looking much flatter, much tighter, which is adding to his overall illusion. Again, it's the most important thing he needs to work on, and I'm sure he's well aware of that, him and his coach as well, and whatever he's doing, changing up the food that he's eating, or practicing vacuums, or just doing more posing, I don't know what it is, but it's working. So I hope it's gonna keep improving, get even better once he's really in shape, and on that Mr. Olympia stage, he's definitely gonna be one of the contenders to potentially challenge for the title. Alright, next up, we got a little physique update from John Jewett at 7 days out of Vancouver Pro. He competed recently at Toronto Pro, but in my opinion, he wasn't as crispy as he looked in his physique update photos. And I think he knows that. I think he mentioned that in one of his posts, and he's gonna try and fix that. I think he knows what the mistake was. So at Vancouver Pro, he's gonna be sharper, crispier. And here he says his crispy level is 100%. So I guess something like this. But if he fills out and if he lets his body rest a little bit, I think he's going to look fresher, fuller as well. So it's going to be a very good John Jewett, improved from Toronto Pro. However, there are certain things about his physique that are not really reversible at this moment, like his midsection. It's not a wide waist or a bubble gut, no, but it's like the shape of the abs and that, I guess, hernia on the belly button. Also like the shape of his legs, more specifically his quads, the way his quads are shaped. And there is nothing he can do about it. He can't change that, he can just get them bigger and leaner, and that's about it. I mean, this very well could be enough, he could potentially win this show. It's not super likely considering who else is competing, but it's not out of question because I'm pretty sure he's gonna be very conditioned, and I would say he is overall very complete. Like, there are no glaring weak points in terms of muscularity, and everything is also pretty much equally conditioned. I'm just not a big fan of his shape and like structure. But again, the amount of muscle combined with conditioning, that can go a long way. And I also really like the fact that he improved so much in 1 year. Going from 212 to the open now, he made some big changes. But yeah, again, certain things like the quads, you can see them right here, the stomach, definitely not the most aesthetic physique out there, let's be real. But again, maybe in open bodybuilding, size, fullness, conditioning, completeness, those are really important factors. It's not that much about aesthetics, but I like to see like a small waist, broad shoulders, nice shape, and it's not something John has. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. Now, in order for him to win, he needs to beat this 27 or 26-year-old mass monster with pretty good shape, Beef Stew. Can he beat Beef Stew at Vancouver Pro? I don't think so. I think this guy's gonna win the show and qualify for the Mr. Olympia by winning it. Quinton Araya is not showing up. Stanimal, however, is doing it. Here's what he looks like at this point, 4 or 5 days out. Peeled, super conditioned, and he's gonna get even harder for the show, I'm sure. He has the aesthetics as well, doesn't have the biggest mass, but I think he improved from last year. I think he's definitely bigger. Maybe he's gonna be big enough. In my eyes right now, he's the top 2 guy. And as you guys know, Hassan Mustafa is also doing it, but I don't know if he's worthy of even mentioning him here because a couple of weeks ago he was like 15 weeks out at that show at Toronto Pro, and he was 6th place. So I don't know how much he could have improved his conditioning in 3 weeks. If he was literally not even doing a diet, and then he started like very aggressively 3 weeks ago, then maybe he can do something. But if he was already trying to get in condition for the Toronto Pro, I don't know how much can he change in 3 weeks. I don't think he can be super conditioned, or decently conditioned even. Here, like, his arms are looking, crazy, massive, pretty conditioned, but that's just the arms. We don't see the legs, we don't see the glutes, the lower back, and so on, and I think we don't see them for a reason. So, I don't have high hopes for Hassan. If he brings better conditioning, much better conditioning in Toronto Pro, then sure, he can do some damage. He can potentially win the show. But is that gonna happen? I doubt that. What do you guys think? Alright, next up, we got a little physique update from Horse MD, and he's doing a little bit of posing with some, physique guy, and that's why he's hitting these poses, but we can see his physique right now. And there's been radio silence from this guy for a while, like since the Arnold Classic. We haven't really seen a lot from him, and we kind of forgot about him. And at the Arnold Classic, his conditioning was, well, embarrassing. It was pretty much same as Hassan Mustafa. I don't even know why he competed. And Milos Arch was prepping him, and Milos said at some point that, like, the guy has 5 businesses and so on, so I got the impression that he's not really that focused on bodybuilding. But, in this physique update, he does look pretty big. Do I see some improvements from last year? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he looks pretty much the same. Maybe he improved a little, but I don't see anything drastic. And he's known for his legs. The legs are absolutely massive. Right here you can see. The upper body is kind of matching the legs, so maybe he made some progress. But does he look like he can live up to his potential? You guys remember last year he was 3rd at this freaking show, Romania Pro. He stood and he looked great next to Samson Dowd or Bekrus Tabani. He even beat Nathan Diasha. So we all had high hopes from this guy. And I think he still has the potential. He can still do it if he really wants it. But from what I'm seeing from him, I don't think he's that devoted to bodybuilding. He has the talent, but is he going to use it? I don't know. I doubt that. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, guys, about bodybuilding, just do me a favor, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon, guys. All the best, and bye-bye.